Former Alaska Governor Sarah Palin is getting real tired of liberals forcing her to think about sex.
That obsession with sex. Look how the liberals, Rachel, want to pound that into the public's head, that advertising who is attracted to who, what people do in the privacy of their own bedrooms, all those things that have to do with privacy and sex. The liberals, not the conservatives, are the one who pound after that.
Sarah, phrasing. We talk about pound. Now, look, the entire thing is both nonsensical and hilarious. Of course, you know, we're talking about Sarah Palin here, so obviously it has to be nonsensical. But here's the thing. So now, AOC went to Florida, and she got COVID, right? Well, yeah, that happens, right? Mild case of COVID. She is fully vaccinated, but conservatives, they jumped all over, right? But not in a literal sense, although some probably wanted to. Oh my God, a hypocritical AOC not wearing a mask in public, even though she's fully vaccinated and she's outside. Oh my God, she's got COVID. All right, but there was a picture that was taken because, you know, creepy people, are going there and taking pictures. And Steve Cortez, he decides to focus on AOC's feet. I'm sorry, AOC's boyfriend's feet. So it's even worse. Here's what he tweeted. Her guy is showing his gross, pale male feet in public. Not at a pool/beach with hideous sandals. Steve. Nobody cared about his feet. Except for you. I mean, like, I don't know what it is, but this guy like immediately zoomed into, oh, would you look at that guy's feet? Pale. They're male feet, unlike beautiful female feet. Oh, yes. What are we talking about? Oh, yes, AOC, total hypocrite. Yes, that's what it is. Now, look, here's the thing. Again, not going to kink shame. If you're into that, that's totally fine. But I just thought it was really, really strange that this is the thing that he was going to bring up in a tweet as a criticism of AOC. It has nothing to do, her boyfriend's feet has nothing to do with her not wearing a mask. Why would you do that? Why would you bring that up? It makes no sense. But again, she responded with this. If Republicans are mad that they can't date me, they could just say that instead of projecting their sexual frustrations onto my boyfriend's feet. You creepy weirdos. And added, I'm starting to get old ignoring the very obvious, strange, and deranged sexual frustrations that underpin the Republican fixation on me, women, and LGBT plus people in general. And look, let's be honest, it's true. It's true. There are people in Congress, by the way, that are more to the left, more radical than AOC. I mean, they don't get half the attention. And these are, again, other members of the squad, right? For example, Rashid Tlaib and Ilhan Omar. They've had some more radical positions than AOC. And there are a couple of examples, but they're not focused on. I mean, yes, Ilhan Omar sometimes, but then, you know, it's really like people like Lauren Boebert that are going after her and saying all these horrible things. But again, AOC is the one that gets a lot of this attention. And so, you know, it's a little strange. And you wonder why. Well, I think it's because there are definitely men on the right who find her physically attractive. And now, let me just say that Sarah Palin is no stranger, I think, to that at all. In fact, I think, look, a lot of Republican men, I'm pretty certain that they voted for her and supported her because she was hot, or they believed that she was hot. And let me give you my own anecdotal evidence, which again is anecdotal, but it's just something that I've experienced. One of my former roommates was a Republican, conservative. I shared a rental house with him and his girlfriend at the time. And this was, back in 2008, obviously. and there was the election, Obama versus McCain and Palin. And so I was like, well, why are you voting for McCain? You know, and he said, well, I like John McCain because John McCain knows war. Again, we're talking about Republicans here, so obviously. And his response for Palin is also, Sarah Palin's like super hot. Oh, is that what that is? Oh, so war and hot conservative lady hot. I mean, if I were, again, into politics, if I had been into politics back then, I would have asked, okay, what policies did Sarah Palin do that you appreciated? Because she was governor of Alaska and literally did socialism. She sent out oil checks, nationalized, the country, or I'm sorry, not the country, but the state's oil revenue, and handed it out to citizens. I actually thought that was pretty good. So now, I mean, being a conservative, you obviously would be against that, right? Oh no, because she's hot. At least that's what they believed. And again, that's just my anecdotal experience, but it seems like a lot of Republican men really don't even care about policy. It's just about hot women, hot. Yeah, that's what she is. Conservative woman, very, very hot. Yeah. And by the way, it's because of living with that person that I actually became aware of an adult film that starred a Palin lookalike. I believe the name of that was Who's Nailin' Sarah Palin, I believe, or something along those lines. And I'm like, well, that explains a lot. It does. But anyway, back to some substance here. So now you want to talk about how the liberals are obsessed with sex, right? Oh, it's the liberals. See, the libs are obsessed with the sex and then, all that stuff. And okay, but then why is it conservatives who are making all these laws to ban trans people from certain bathrooms? Gay people from the military? Telling women that they need to dress modestly. All these attacks on, feminism, right? And by the way, Fox News used to do an entire segment about spring break. Do you remember those times? Remember they would go and they would basically interview, like they'd send someone to like Florida, whatever, during spring break, and interview them, and then sit there and moralize about how, oh my God, do you see all these women in bikinis? Oh my God, how terrible! What a terrible thing that we are showing you all the pictures of and the video here. We're just going to show that to you. In fact, I have some. This is a video. This is Fox News. Sean Hannity back in 2014 talking about this. Take a look.
So you saw women take their tops off, all right? You saw guys, I know because the producer sent me pictures, guys were literally taking their pants off.
Yes, mooning the camera.
Mooning the camera.
That guy who we talked to had smoked pot there on the beach, was high as a kite, you could tell in his eyes,
Right.
admitted it on camera.
Right.
You have people having sex on the beach in public.
And in public.
In public.
And you saw that, but
Yes.
you can't show that.
Right. One girl, everyone's handing out those beads, like Mardi Gras beads,
Yeah.
and girls are flashing
To
for
get
our
the
cameras.
beads.
Yes. One girl, a few days ago, we did a ride-along with the Sheriff's Department, and that's going to be tomorrow's segment. But he showed us pictures from 2 or 3 days ago. One girl was standing on a box on the beach with her bottoms off,
Oh, boy.
letting guys do whatever they wanted to her. One time I went to Cancun in college, and I was appalled at what I saw. This is now here in America.
What's happening?
Kids are doing this down in Florida.
Oh my God, I am so appalled. Look at all these pictures, Sean. I'm just so appalled at what's happening. And he's like, oh yeah, we're totally appalled. Yep. Yeah. And by the way, their audience would totally be appalled as well as soon as they finished. I mean, come on, dude. Well, you think it's the left that's obsessed with sex? Now, how come Ken Cuccinelli literally tried to ban oral sex? I mean, he ran on that platform of trying to ban oral sex. You're kidding. You're kidding. And by the way, speaking of Fox News here, Roger Ailes used to watch his channel, Fox, with the sound off. Now, why was that? Well, so he could gauge the attractiveness of the female hosts that weren't even when he was he was in control of Fox News when he was still alive. These women were not allowed to wear pants. They had to wear skirts or dresses. And so, come on. The entire premise, the entire idea that it's the left that's obsessed with sex and it's a pound, pound. Hilarious. Hilarious. There is no group in America that is more openly, creepily horny than old conservative men who tend to make up the entirety of the Fox News audience.